Very good morning to you guys. Tobago Sports Live here live at the Global Premier Scholarship Secondary School Tryouts. In just a bit we'll be talking to the man in charge, Mr. Anthony Roy. He's basically going to give you guys an insight on what's taking place and what's going on. Well, Tobago Sports Live, we're always live for local anything. We're trying to do our best. My name is Kerry Porter, and stay tuned. If you have your daughter or your son for the tryouts here, you can log on, tell a friend, share the link, and stay tuned. It is a thing, boy.
You're taking it right off the ball.
Yeah, man. Cold seat.
Okay, cool. So, what do you want? Like questions you gonna?
Yeah.
WhatsApp on your phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could you take some snaps of us and just send it for me? So if you could use it on your phone, you take some snaps, that would be nice. So that I'm using my phone, and you could send it to me. WhatsApp.
man. Whatever
Okay. So let's go. Sit. Left side. I'll put my glasses here. The mic is now open, right?
Yes, we on. Very good morning, Tobago. Tobago Sports Live here. My name is Kurt Porto. We're Mr. Anthony Roy. We have Global Premier Scholarships Tryout. This is so exciting for Tobago. Say good morning to Mr. Anthony Roy. This is the man in charge of the whole program. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much for having me, and good morning or good day to your viewers.
Well, tell us, what are we looking at today?
Well, presently we are Global Premier Soccer, and we are having a combine here in, I believe the school is Signal Hill,
Yes, Signal.
Tobago, looking at Tobago athletes. We're looking at the boys and the girls with the opportunity of doing 40 placements abroad. So we're here under the auspices of the SSFL, the College League.
So you guys also visit Trinidad, I heard.
Yes, we were in Trinidad, and we did some work over in Trinidad on Saturday. We looked at some girls, and some boys. And then we were at the All-Star game yesterday. We looked at the All-Star game.
So what has it been like traveling around the countries looking for players?
Well, it's very exciting because one, you get to meet new people, different ideas. The people grew up in different ways, so you learn a lot. I think it's a learning experience for us. We are here to for opportunities for kids, because we know there's a lot of talent here down in the Caribbean region, especially in Trinidad and Tobago, and we're here working along with a number of organizations presenting the opportunities for kids.
Usually we don't get a lot of visitors like these towards Tobago shows. How come you guys chose Tobago?
Well, the first time we were here was early on in April, where we did a showcase in Curiosity Grounds. And I believe you had two kids from Tobago here, from Bishops, who came across to participate. So it says a lot to us if they were to come across to participate in a tournament. And I had some discussions with the parents, and ever since I've been in contact with them, and we've been working together. And this is the result of it, where you look on the field today, and we have some 30-something or 40-something girls, and then we have a number of guys here, which is much more than the girls, who are waiting for their turn to show their talent.
Thank you. So I must ask, have you seen anything talented as yet?
Well, there's a lot of talent on the field. There's a lot of raw talent on the field. These girls on the field know what they're about. There's no questions about it. As you can see, the both scouts are on the field. We have scouts in different areas on the field here looking, and we are impressed in what we are seeing. What is nice about it too is in terms of the physiques of the athletes, which is critical too, because going to the US, the size of some of these athletes, and what is good about it too is not just the physique, but these kids can carry themselves. And from having discussions with some of the kids, they have their qualifications. They are bright, intelligent kids, and that is important too, because you remember, it's student athletes we're looking for. So it's not just soccer, it's your books too. And we're looking for kids well-rounded who can represent Trinidad and Tobago. And when you go on these scholarships, you're not just representing yourself, you're representing your family, you're representing Tobago, you're representing Trinidad, and also to as a female too, because a lot of the females sometimes they feel left out, that they're not being looked at. And we're about to change that now, where we're saying, look, we're looking for 40 athletes, and if we can get 40 girls in the midst, that is going to open up doors. If we could get 20 girls in the midst, it's going to open up doors for 20 girls. But you have to remember there's others coming, because when you attend a school abroad and you perform in your books and you perform in sport, the first thing the coaches ask you, okay, what school you went to, who's the coach of that school, because they want to make contact, because they believe there's more to come from your school. And that is what we're trying to create, that impact where we can open up the doors and open up the flood doors. And that is going to help us over here, one, in terms of soccer, in terms of our national teams, in terms of the clubs these kids play for, because you make friends. And a lot of these friends you make play with clubs abroad, and those clubs may want to come down here in Tobago, sports tourism. that is the kind of stuff that could come out of this here to sports tourism, where we are looking, like for instance, yesterday we had a discussion with a lady, I wouldn't give you her name, but we had some discussions with her, and they're looking to have an international tournament in Trinidad. They're looking at for some games in Tobago, and a number of teams around the world have already given the indication that they are coming. So sports tourism is on the burner in terms of Trinidad and Tobago. If you look around, the beautiful facilities you're seeing here, you're seeing the hills, the breeze, the place is wonderful. And that is the kind of stuff where the tourists looking for. Clubs to off-season, like right now, you know the snow is falling in many states in the United States of America. And when they're ready to start their season, majority of them travel to start the season. They would want to come to Tobago to do that kind of off-season workout. So all these things are going to add to the mix in terms of what we're doing, and it has a massive spin-off, a really, really massive spin-off. You have people who would be able to sell things to them. They would be able to move around and invite their families. Some of them may want to get married, yeah, and come back to Tobago to get married. So there's a massive spin-off in terms of what we are doing, not just sport, but in terms of the economy of Tobago too.
I'm just going to take a quick question from Facebook. I understand Joe is asking, what kind of stuff you guys are looking for?
If you could identify in terms of the stuff, I guess you're going, Miss Kojo? Mr. Kojo. Yeah. I think what you are getting off is what we're looking at in terms of the kids, in terms of qualifications and in terms of the ability to play. We're looking for kids that have at least 5 or more passes. Now, I must say to you that a kid without passes and all could get you to go to school in America in terms of junior college. Okay. But we are not promoting that. That is not something, because as you remember, it's student athlete. And I must say too, there's a lot of late learners too, because I don't believe any kid is dunce. I don't believe that at all. There's no such thing. I think we have late learners, yes, and some of these kids, you know, did not set long in school, and some of them, you look at them and later on in life, they are functioning properly. So that is some of the attributes we're looking at. We're looking at the SAT, where we're looking at, based on your SAT, can determine the kind of school that you attend to. And we're looking at, like for instance, I spoke to a young man, he had 1100 in the SAT. That is a wonderful score. So we're looking at over 1,000 and more, 1,200, 1,000 and more. We're looking at kids too, in terms of how they would react to the facilities they're playing on today. Now, mind you, the time is now minutes to 12. So we have these girls playing out in the sun, and we are looking at these girls in terms of their attitude, how they're looking at it, their facial expression, discipline, how they're organized. And some of them are playing multiple games, and we are looking at that kind of stuff too, because you remember, everything is not going to be laid out on a plate for you to go in the States. There are some states that you may go and it's may be very cold, like we are in New Jersey, and New Jersey is snowing right now. So some of these kids might have to play maybe their final, because right now the soccer season is closing off right now. So if you have a final, you can't tell the coach you don't want to play because it's 6 inches of snow and they're cleaning off the field. So we are putting these kids together through the paces to get that reaction from them and to see where they're at. So as I said before, the SAT, in terms of their qualification, their mannerism, how they function when you speak to them, you want to look at for eye contact and that kind of stuff. And you want to work with these kids, because we are here, as a learning experience, and also to teach, so that we could open up the doors for more kids to participate.
So much. Okay guys, we're also taking questions via Facebook. In the meantime, I wait for you guys' questions. So when the kids are being selected, what is the procedure do you have to go through?
Well, what we're doing first here, we are identifying talent right now, and then we are also carrying out discussions with kids, having discussions with them in terms of their qualifications, chatting with them, watching their body language, because you have to remember, schools are putting out sometimes 200 and something thousand US for kids in terms of full scholarships and more. So we have to be able to make sure that these kids have the factor. That is critical, because you don't want a kid to go and get a scholarship and then a kid can't carry themselves in a particular manner. So we want to be able to chat with these kids too, and it's not just a matter of we see you, we like you, bam, you go to school. We want to be able to have a discussion too with your parents too, because you have to remember, some of these kids are leaving to go abroad. Some of them never travel in their life, so some of their parents may want to go with them till they settle in school. And as you know, we are going through the SSFL, which is going to be done in a professional manner. We are not going to come here and, you know, if we see 5 kids who can play, pull the 5 kids in front of the rest of the kids and say, well, you get through and the rest didn't get through. That is unprofessional. What we would do, we would send back an email to all the kids, thanking them for performing, thanking them for coming out, and some of the kids too, we will send them notes and telling them, you know, what they need to work on. And a lot of these kids here have years ahead of them. Like for instance, in Trinidad, we had about 3 or 4 girls who was at the age for school. You are not going to let your kid at 14, 15 years old, and we're not going to even entertain that thought, letting them go abroad. Yeah. So it's a good experience for the girls. But this will also help too with helping the authorities that be in soccer, that girls are coming out, because now they know there's opportunities. And we want the parents to know too, because we want the stakeholders involved. We want the parents involved, we want the kids involved, we want the family involved, we want the different zones involved to get involved in what we are doing, so we can work hand in hand to help, because we are here to help. We are not here to tell you what to do. We are here to give you suggestions, and then you can take it and be part of it and work along with us, because we love networking. If I were to tell you our net worth on networking in terms of the US, and just a little bit of information on GPS, and I could stay a whole day talking about GPS till tomorrow with information. Trust me, I can, because we are a massive company. We are basically, our head office is in Boston. We are in 26 states. We have over 100-something thousand kids we work with. We're in 15 countries. We're in China, Portugal, India. We're in Canada. We're in England. We're just there. We are the North American representative for Bayern Munich, and then Valencia is the other part of the world. We represent Valencia, and we have Bayern Munich camps going on right now in the US. We eat, live, sleep, breathe, think, read, write, everything soccer. And we are one-stop shop. We don't bring in people to do work for us. We do every part of the soccer. The back room, we deal with soccer. Coaching, we deal with soccer. Hosting tournaments, we deal with the soccer. Even the refereeing, setting up of the fields, the logistics to get to the tournament. We put tournaments together like in Boston. We have over 200 to 300 teams turn out to those tournaments. We do all the logistics, bus rides, getting to hotels, putting it together. So we are one-stop shop. We also have a number of networking with professional teams, semi-pro teams, and amateur teams. Some of these teams hire us to come and do their back work, backdoor work for them, because they need their financial part of it. They need the marketing to work. They need their networking to work. We come in and do that work for them to show them how to network, how to get things going and put things together in terms of their team, and get their team organized properly.
Okay, I'm just trying to feel a question here from Tara Williams, one of our viewers is always.
Sure.
Are you thinking about developing a branch in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, Tara is the person's name. Tara?
Yeah, Tyrell.
Sorry, Tyrell.
He's based in Barbados right now.
Nice to hear from you, Tyrell in Barbados. Well, one of the hats that I wear at GPS right now as the international consultant, as you can hear from my voice too, I am from Trinidad and Tobago. My roots is from Tobago. And what we are doing here first, they say charity begins at home. So I am back in my homeland in Tobago, where my family really came from. And what we are doing in Trinidad right now, we have an agreement, because we network, so we have an agreement with the SSFL to work in the college league, and we are going to work across the board in terms of work with coaches, work with kids. We are going to work with the managers. We are going to put out information about SATs, what are the subjects you need. Like some schools, you need to have a science to get into certain schools. Inform kids to what is required. You cannot be a professional and go to school in the US. that doesn't work. So we need to talk to kids too about paperwork that they're signing, because there are people coming around having all these different trials and having kids sign papers, and the kids don't know what they're signing. So in terms of Trinidad, we are looking at two things right now in Trinidad and Tobago. We are looking at an elite under 20 in Trinidad, and we are looking at an elite under 20 in Tobago, boys, and then we're looking at girls. Why? Because the soccer in Trinidad, there's a problem. The problem is between college league and the national team. We are not filling that gap properly. So what we are doing now with that elite team, because we are affiliated with some of the big tournaments for under 20 and under 16 around the world, we are looking at getting these under 20 teams, this elite team, into tournaments where they will be playing teams like Barcelona under 20, Manchester under 20, Liverpool under 20, all these under 20. You see, you can only really play this game based on the opposition and the environment that you play the game in. Okay, let me give you a perfect example. Manchester City 4 years ago, look at the standard of football Manchester City were playing 4 years ago. Look at the football Manchester City is playing now. You see the coaches that they brought in, you see the backroom staff they brought in, you see the standard of football they play now, because they're in a total different environment.
Yes.
And when you're in a total different environment, you have to step your game up. If you don't, somebody's waiting to take your place, and that is what we are doing here now. We are setting this thing up to get these kids to travel as a unit. We are also backed also by Adidas, as everything we wear is Adidas. We are backed by Adidas, and we want to come into this market, and we want to help. We want a partnership too with the public and the private sector, good corporate citizens, the banks, businesses. We want to get them on board too, because sports throughout the Caribbean, it is critical that it succeed in the Caribbean region. Take the West Indies. When the West Indies is winning, everyone in the Caribbean is smiling. When they're losing, you see the facial expression.
Yes.
So sports is critical and integral to us in the Caribbean. So we are also trying to get down in the different markets. That is something that I am charged with, to come into Trinidad and Tobago, lay that platform, put it down properly and in a professional manner. That is critical. If it's not done in a professional manner, then there's problems. We are not here as a fly-by-night company to come and just do something and leave and run, and it's not working properly. We do things in a professional manner and in a consistency that it works, that you see the results in it. You may not see the results immediately, because we look at short-term, mid-term and long-term plans for what we're doing, and we strategize what we're doing. We don't just come into a market and just come in there and do anything. We do our research. What is needed? What needs to happen? How do we get this going? And the experience that we have as a company, as I said, we are huge. Over 300-400 coaches we have. We have arrangement too as the US has arrangement with England. We have kids who are coming through the college and the university who come across to spend some months with us in America. I am looking at that too for Trinidad and Tobago and in the Caribbean, where the Anglo-Ruskin program, we are looking at that too, so we could get kids who are finishing off university and have a last semester, who want to come on the job and do some on-the-job training, because they're studying sports, management in sports and that kind of stuff. So we do all that kind of stuff. So it's as I said, it's huge. And it will take me so long to sit down here to explain to you everything that we do in terms of our soccer.
Well, there you have it, guys. Mr. Anthony Roy of GPS, Global Premier Soccer. I'm looking at a question here. How often does GPS intend to come to Tobago and host these tryouts?
Sorry?
How often does GPS, do you guys intend to come to Tobago and do these tryouts? How often?
Well, we are laying the platform right now. That is what we are doing. Today, as I said before, we have over 40-something girls, and we have more boys than girls. So we are laying the platform right now. And one of the things that we do too, we don't just come and just work with the kids. What we have discussions with parents. We have discussions with people in the media. We have discussions with the layman who's around to find out what is needed. and then we go back home and we do our homework. But this is going to be an event that is going to take place every year, in which we're going to be coming in Tobago, because you remember, kids are leaving school. I don't think we fully understand the impact of what is transpiring here right now. Like, for instance, in Trinidad and Tobago, and please, I stand to be corrected, you have close to 7,000 kids leaving school every year. And out of that 7,000, you have over 3,000 or 4,000 kids playing soccer. Why can't we create opportunities for some of those kids to go abroad? And we are hoping not just soccer, we are hoping that maybe a track and field company like us in the US come. Maybe a basketball organization in the US come. Maybe a table tennis, maybe swimming come to the Caribbean and follow what we are doing. You don't want to rewrite what we are doing. You look at what we are doing, you piggyback on it, and you can do the same thing, but you need to come and do it in a professional manner in terms of what we're doing.
Mr. Kojo has a question here on Facebook. You see the football season, okay, I'm going to see it better here. I think I've seen it here. Seeing that the football season is already come to a completion, right?
Yes.
Are you guys going to have any programs so these young athletes could keep in fit, so when you come again, they don't have to hurry up to get to scratch to showcase, so they can able to showcase their best talents?
Well, one of the things we are hoping here is in terms of the discipline too. Mm-hmm. If we come around this time, and we planning to come around this time, we will hope that kids will start getting themselves ready from the beginning of the year. And then you have all the different leagues that is played in Tobago, so we will expect kids to start getting themselves ready for when we come next year. We're going to be sharing information too about the SATs. We're going to be sharing information for the qualification that you need. We're going to be sharing different information because we want the kids to get the information. My people perish for lack of knowledge, and we don't want people to be without the knowledge for what they need to do in terms of reaching their destiny. So we are not just with the ball rolling on the field playing. We're trying to speak to the kids' mind too, so they can have an understanding what they want to do in the future. And we like, for instance, I will advise kids to, you need to start, when you reach that certain age, you need to start looking at the field you want to get involved in. There are fields you want to get involved in, and some schools may do some of the things that you want to do. You may want to be a pilot, you may want to do engineering, you may want to get into the science. So you need to start doing your research too, and then too, you may have family living in New York, you may have family living in Florida, you may want to go to school around those areas, and that is things too we would want kids to tell us. Okay, coach, I have family living in New York. A school would like that, because then a school don't have to put out money for a place for you to stay, because you already have family in New York. Then they could pump more money towards your schooling. So these are the kind of stuff too we want to have conversations. We want later on to maybe have a meeting with parents too, so the parents could be involved in what is transpiring so we're looking at a holistic approach to what it is we're doing.
Well, I must say thank you on behalf of Tobago Sports Live for giving us this chance to chat. And is there anything else you want to add towards, the wider world that's viewing?
Well, first to begin, thanks for logging in, today, and the questions that come up on the screen. And you can pull up the information on GPS. We are Global Premier Soccer. You could pull it up, GPS, you could Google it, and you will get the information in terms of us. As I said, we are worldwide, we are growing. We have relationships with teams that is not pro teams, semi-pro teams, professional teams, and we network. That is what makes us strong too. We network with organizations, and as I said, being in 26 states, we don't have one office in 26 states. We have multiple offices. Some states you go in, you may find 8 or 9 offices there in different areas. Like, for instance, in the New Jersey area, we are in New Jersey, we are in New York, we are in Delaware, we are in Jersey area. We have about 6 to 7 offices. So that area, the eastern part of America, we have a number of offices, and we continue to grow. We have Bayern Munich coaches coming down certain parts of the year. We go 12 months in a year because right now we are indoors, so we keep going.
Well, I must say thank you very much for reaching out to us on Facebook, because we didn't really know anything about you, and because you reached out, we were able to be a part of this. This is so wonderful. I must say thank you very much, Roy.
You're welcome, man. Anytime.
All right, guys, there you have it. Mr. Anthony Roy of GPS Global Premier Soccer, and they're doing the scouting today in Tobago. We want to wish all the guys good luck, and stay tuned, and you'll be watching. We'll be taking this until the end, so you can watch the tryouts, see how your kids are doing, see how your cousins are doing. Yes.
We're going to be coming to a neighborhood close to you soon. Stay tuned.
Well, there you have Mr. Roy. All right, guys, stay tuned and watch the tryouts, and we're here until the end. Tobago Sports Live.
You give me something I need, you give me something I bleed, you give me something I crave, oh, I really need you too. I really wanna feel great now, so let me have my way now. No one ever gonna leave, cause I'm so invested in you. Cause I really feel a vibe every time you set the right down. And nobody like this, man, it's nothing like this, and it's nothing like you. Nothing and nobody like you. And every single time we touch, no one ever wanna stop, because I always wanna let you know that I love you so much, it's nobody like you. Nothing and nobody like you. So, make me ball out. Long time this are overdue. Long time this are overdue. Make me ball out. Long time this are overdue. Long time this are overdue. Because you're special to me. Special to me. Very special. Very special. Whoa. Because you're special to me. Me. Very special. Very special. Like the sunlight and the rain fall. Like the daytime and the night come. I'll be sure now, bound to come back. Please don't fall off, don't break my heart. Like the moon now and the star shine. Give me all now, not a fraction. Get to the point now, so just full stop till the last beat and me heart stop. Sir, I really feel a vibe every time we set it right down. And nobody like this and nobody like you. Nothing and nobody like you. So they tell them, and every single time we touch, no one ever wanna stop, cause I wanna let you know that I love it so much. And it's nobody like you. Make me ball out. Long time is a overdue. Long time is a overdue. Make me ball out. Long time is a overdue. Long time is a overdue.
I got enough feeling down in my belly. Brace up yourself for when Private Ryan start to play. Baby, I could listen to Ryan all day. It doesn't even matter if I'm 1,000 miles away.
Ryan play the soccer with me, ne. Just have to say what I think. I honestly feel like I'm dreaming. Private Ryan on the system.
Yeah. This black man.
I'm a sorry man.
I got enough feeling down in my belly. Brace up yourself for when Private Ryan start to play. Baby, I could listen to Ryan all day. It doesn't even matter if I'm 1,000 miles away.
Ryan play the soccer with me, ne. Just have to say what I think. I honestly feel like I'm dreaming. Private Ryan on the system. I shouldn't say too much and confuse it, but you just have to know you do it. I'm feeling so good, I must share it. So for those who in love and they feel it, let me hear you say yeah.
Private Ryan in here.
All who love to share, yeah.
We jumping like we don't care. Ryan full of vibe, yeah.
Put your hands in the air, yeah. All who love to share, yeah.
We jumping like we don't care, yeah. Cause we full of vibe, yeah. Miss Black Man.
I'm sorry man.
I got enough feeling down in my belly. Brace up yourself because I have so much things to say. Baby, I can text and talk to you all day. It doesn't even matter if you're 1,000 miles away.
Say you're full of heart with me, ne. Just have to say what I think. I honestly feel like I'm dreaming. Oh my darling, what I'm feeling. I shouldn't say
day. See, I was holding on. See, I was going strong. See, I was holding on for better days.
I didn't expect it like this. I catching feelings. I catching feelings. I didn't expect it like this. I catching feelings. I catching feelings.
And she ball up, hey yo, give me a lot that carrot yo. Sing it out, hey yo, Lord your bad. She sing it out, hey yo, when you push it back carrot yo. Sing it out, hey yo, Lord your bad. She whining, she love the way how I whine and roll my waist. I know she whine every time I come from behind. I could go whole day. I'm telling you, she never expect I was a whiner. God bless me with style and stamina. Make she ball, oh Lord. Cause I kiss she the ooh, I kiss she the ah. I put her she nice, like she's a cassava. She want me to prove that I is a champion, so I come out to prove that I is a champion. She went down lower, 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 so I follow her lower, lower. She go when she want to and she sing and she ball up.
The way you winding up on me, maybe you're the one for me. You're rocking like a Odyssey. Baby, you're number one.
Baby, come and turn the billion over. I love the way you move your body to the soca. You got the vibes and I know that. Turn back way, wine and bend over. You got the kind of waist, make a man lose his mind. Every time you do your thing, turn back way, killer with the wine.
The
Yeah.
way you winding up on me, maybe you're the one for me. You're rocking like a Odyssey. Maybe you're the one for me. Maybe you're the one for me. Maybe you're the one for me. You're rocking like a Odyssey. Baby, you're number one.
Come baby, rock and go down. You're tight and pretty, girl, the man them so wrong. Waistline roll, girl, you can perform. Whoa. So when you're gonna bring it down, got the thing, I love me flower. Right up, love for your style. Right now, the thing nice. Watch how I change up my lifestyle. Tell Caribbean their life. Man, I flyer than you play. Yeah, right now, the thing nice. Watch how I change up my lifestyle. People greet me with big smiles. Everywhere they know my name. Second star right now, the thing turn up. I touch Jamaica and the whole place turn up. I touch Canada and the whole place turn up. I touch Miami and the whole place turn up. In my home TNT, well the whole city turn up. Anywhere that I go, and the whole place turn up. London, England, well you know that we turn up. I come from a humble place, ghetto where superstars are made him. Everybody start to clap for me. Second star coming back again. Everybody start to clap for me. Yeah, second star coming back again. Everybody start to clap for me. Second star coming back again. Everybody start to clap for me.
She bad, oh Lord. Yeah, double M on the remix. Yo, girl, why you bad so? Oh gosh, when you wind up your body, girl, you're making Marshall. Why you? Hold up. If I ever get your body, girl, I feel like I win a medal. Hold up. You are the champion, why no girl can't take it from you? No, love you like between islands in Bego.
The way she whine it.
The way she whine,
The way she bang it.
she did blow my mind.
Oh, the way she bounce it, yeah. She dey make me go low. The way she dey roll, yeah.
Look, she bad. She shake up that bum body, girl, yeah, bad. Badang. Walk down the road and you know that the girl, yeah, bad. When she walk down the same damn motion.
Yeah, follow my lead, make I take you go. From Miss Legon to Cairo, chop in a bando. I really wanna dance with you. Follow my lead, make I take you go. From Australia to Cairo, chop in a bando. I really wanna dance with you. Busy. The pretty girl them say them like my thing, yeah. Busy. Sexy girl them like my thing, yeah. Busy. The pretty girl them say them like my thing, yeah. Busy. Sexy girl them like my thing, yeah.
Any all you wanted, you get it, baby. The words that you're telling me just drives me crazy. Promise when I'm with you, babe, I won't be lazy. Been wanting to wine off you lately, baby. Any all you want, but I'm no pushover. Gotta ride like a roll in a new Range Rover. Head to the floor, from the floor
float to sofa, bust a wine, then turn me over. When this place bend up, everything send up. But girl not burn up, so we say turn up. Look the ends them up, whole crew ten up. What we say? Blase, 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 blase.
Beze, 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 beze. The pretty girl them say them like my thing, yeah. Beze, 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 beze. Sexy girl them like my thing, yeah. Beze, 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 beze. The pretty girl them say them like my thing, yeah. Beze, 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 beze.
I come to fix things proper. I come to deal with your matter. I come down straight from platter. I come to walk all the girl them proper. Oh, she bubble, 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 every girl, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. One on the clock, girl, tick tock, tick tock, tick. Make your waist and so back. Private Ryan got the girl them bubbling. 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 Yes, 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 you. Any girl can bubble in the trouble. Any girl can bubble in the trouble. Any girl can bubble in the trouble. Wine to the bass and wine to the treble, girl. Any girl can bubble in the trouble. Any girl can bubble in the trouble. Any girl can bubble in the trouble. Wine to the bass and wine to the treble, girl. Bubble, 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 bubble. Turn it around and say bubble, 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 bubble. You and your friend and say bubble, 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 bubble. Turn it around and say bubble, 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 bubble.
Take a shot, don't pass no shot. Don't fight with nobody. This is not time to stop. Hug up tight with somebody. Love on the inside, good vibes out there. And I feel like I got some money in my hand for my bills. The bills done paid out. My hat, my shirt, my pants, my shoes done laid out. Anytime you see me shout out boom, can't stop to wind up your boom boom. Hey, I'm not joking, I'm ready to party. Hope you're ready for me, hope you're ready for me, hope you're ready for me, hope you're ready for me. I'm ready for them, them not ready for me, them not ready for me. This gonna mash down flat, 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 just like that. Anytime I reach by the gate, right, straight, straight, straight. I come turn and turn over, turn over. And I come to take over, take over. I come to turn over, turn over. And I'm going to take over, take over. You want to party, yeah? You never went to fete till you party, yeah, yeah, yeah. And everybody, yeah, girl, roll your body there. And nobody knows why we choose to drink all day. Nobody cares if they have plenty bills to pay. 'Cause now is not the time for that. It's not the place for that. Oh no, no. Let me take a wine to that, wine for that, yeah. Welcome to the fete land. Everybody has something in their hand. Call it a big jam. Every woman rock down with a man. This is the fete land, where everybody have a drink in their hand. Some call it
Hold on to your belly, I go hold on to your back. Give me some, give me some, give me some of that. Hold on to your belly, I go hold on to your back. Give me some of that, give me some of that. Hold on to your belly, I go hold on to your back. Give me some, give me some, give me some of that. Hold on to your belly, I go hold on to your back.
The official soundtrack to Kickstart Carnival. Strictly new soca hits to pay attention to. The only mix that matters.
Bang, 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 bang. Bacchanal. 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 Watch it. Man, it's a bacchanal. Hey. What we come here for? Hey. Bacchanal and water. All we come here for? Bacchanal and powder. All we come here for? Bacchanal and water. All we come here for? Bacchanal and powder. Watch it, watch it. I come to pay my money and dance in the water. Dance more. Why I done make up my mind chaos and disorder. I never come here to pose and stand up in a corner. Not at all. Especially when girl waist rolling like hard marijuana. I come in here with a bucket of paint. Drink till I iron fall like a fiend. I never come here to act like a saint. Ask if I know man, I tell them I hate. I come to stand by the barrel of mud. From head to toe, boy, I broke like a flood. Y'all like vampires attracted to blood. Run into we and them running because when I want Bacchanal and water. All they come here for Bacchanal and powder. All we come here for Bacchanal and water. All we come here for Bacchanal and powder.
Just like young time I listen in shadow. I grow up on Kitchener. Favorite Calypsonian was Spoiler. Yeah, so now you get the picture. Long time now I listen in Sparrow. Well, I grow up on Merchant. Just check the scenario. Stalin make me want to sing soca.
Tell them we about that life. Milko just send the 4 lines like it.